Hi everyone, it's Ash here from FPL Hints, back with another live stream and doing another draft ratings episode. And joining me today is FPL Meerkat. How's it going, mate?
Oh yeah, really great to be here. Really looking forward to getting stuck into rates and drafts.
Absolutely, same here. And the good thing about this draft rating is you don't know which drafts I've picked. It's completely anonymous, and you can be as honest as you want, and that's what we ultimately want in this. So, without further ado, shall we get straight into it?
Let's get straight in.
Right, here we go. Let me get my first draft open here.
I will just say I've not seen any of these drafts, so this will be a completely honest reaction.
Yep, exactly. I've seen them initially, but it was purely so that I could, well, just pick some drafts out. So let me just get this right. One moment. I'm just going to get super zoom in as well. So we've got a clear view of each of those drafts. Here we go. First draft FPL Meerkat. So we've got Pickford in goal. We've got this back three of Estupinan, Gabriel, and Trent. Foden, Mitoma, Saka, Bruno, Maddison packing the midfield five. Haaland and Jesus as our strikers. And then dud subs of Virginia, Baldock, Bell, and Archer. How does that look to you for a first
Hmm.
one?
I mean, I like the look of it so far. It's got a nice variation of you've got the template here. You've covered the popular assets. You've got a Stupinan, you've got Saka, you've got Haaland. You covered the popular ones, but he's got Maddison in. That's something I haven't seen. Something I haven't seen too much of.
Yeah,
He's got Fernandez instead of Rashford. That's a nice little difference over what you would consider the template to be. And he's even got Foden as well, who we'll have
yeah.
to see come the game week 1 deadline, but we'll have to wait and see if Foden is if he's going to be a sure starter or not in that Man City lineup.
Exactly. And I like just from my own team's perspective, like Foden was someone who I'm tempted to get in, but then I looked at the algorithm from Draft Hound and it was clear that like shipping out Fernandez could be a potential mistake. But then Foden offers that differential quality within this template as well. Is any glaring misses here, FPL Meerkat?
In terms of essentials, I don't. I hate. Yeah, I know people hate the word essentials, but
Mm,
I feel like most of them are covered here. I've got a feeling there's a defense missing, isn't there? Man
there
United
is.
defense
Yes.
is missing, so there's no Anana or Shaw.
No.
That could be Man United were probably the strongest defense last season. They kept the most clean sheets, that's for sure. So
Yes.
that could be a miss in this team.
Yeah.
And Pickford in goal is certainly different. 4.5 million. I do like my 4.5 million goalkeepers, so you can put as much money as you can in the whole lineup. But I'm not too sure about the Everton defense. What do you reckon
Yeah.
about the Everton defense?
I'm not too sold on it right now. Like despite having that managerial change towards the end of last season with Sean Dyche at the helm, it wasn't like they were a bastion of clean sheets. I saw a lot of FPL experts with their drafts having Pickford as their first draft goalkeeper. I just feel that Onana, if we're being perfectly frank, should be a 5.5 if true
Hmm.
pricing existed. I think he offers exceptional value at 5.0 million, and I feel that that seems like the go-to. Again, I'm being biased, and the template. To be fair, his ownership is very low right now, but I think as we get towards game week 1, he'll progress towards like template status among especially the legendary managers, and in fact just engaged managers as well. You know, bog standard bench. I think this isn't going to be quite common, where you'll have literally the 4.0s and a 4.5 making the cut here on the bench. So give me a rating out of 5. What would you rate this 352?
Out of 5, I'm going to go for a steady 3 on this one.
Yeah, I think that's quite healthy. I'll give it a 3.5, um, in the sense that I have this bias against like differentials. I'm template heavy in terms of my like picks, but 3.5 just because it's slightly different, and I see the logic in it, but it has got some misses there. So coming
Mhm.
on to the next draft now, this is quite different. We've got Flecken in goal, And we don't even know. I think Raya's still at Brentford right now, so it'd be interesting to
Hmm.
see what happens there. Estupinan, Stones, Trent, and Botman, interestingly enough, back line. Rashford, Foden again, Saka, Martinelli, Haaland, and Jesus. See that as the front line again. And then we've got Areola, Torres, Nakamba, and Semenyo.
Okay. Well, so the first thing that that stood out to me, of course, the lovely pink goalkeeper there. Flecken
Yeah.
is been in pretty much every single one of my drafts at the moment, purely because Raya was an absolute standout for me last season, and purely because of the Brentford goalkeeper getting a lot of, getting a lot of save points, getting those clean sheets. He was just my set and forget keeper for the whole season.
Yes.
Obviously, this massively factors on whether Raya leaves or not. He might be going to Chelsea. Seems to be the rumor. He's not going to Man United or maybe Spurs, I think,
I
as
even had
well. Could be
Bayern.
an
I,
option.
I even had Bayern Munich randomly this morning as well.
Bayern, wow.
Yeah, but it's a
Yeah,
rumor mill thing.
yeah, that definitely hinders on that. Again, no Man United defense, but a four at the back, a 4-4-2 this one.
Yeah.
And you can see there's six expensive attackers there, attackers and midfielders. There's no 6.5 million midfielder, so there's no
Mm,
Matoma, Eze, and Buemo.
no.
Uh, that price point isn't covered. I feel like you could potentially sacrifice one of the defenders to get one of those midfielder. Who was the midfielder on the bench? Was it a
That
4.5?
I believe it was Nakamba. There he is.
Yeah, so with the price structure in this one, you're pretty forced into the 4-4-2. You can't really, it's going to be a bit difficult to go up to another midfielder or a forward.
Yeah,
So in terms of the price structure, this one, I feel like it's quite important at the start to have a good price structure in the first game week, so you can very easily
yes,
move. We're going to get so much information from game week 1.
exactly. Just from my side, I think Flecken's a question mark. Although I see the
Mhm.
logic in him as well. I feel that like Botman is not a good pick as a starting pick. I can see the logic as a
Yeah.
sub one or a sub two, but with Newcastle's tricky run of opening red block games, he's an absolute no. But having said that, if you ask me to pick between Botman or Trippier, 2 million difference, you'd go for Botman this season without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, apart from that, you got three template defenders. Rashford, Saka, I think Martinelli's quite different. Template
Yeah,
forwards. So yeah,
triple Arsenal attack there. What do you reckon about triple Arsenal attack?
I see the logic in it, if like with the opening three games that they have, but I feel that like a Gabriel at 5.0 offers exceptional value as well. So I feel that for many people that might be a 50-50 call. But then if Arsenal have a challenging start, which hopefully shouldn't be the case, then you're kind of lumbered with, let's just say none of them score, then you're kind of lumbered with three players there in the Arsenal attack who can't offer much. So
Mhm.
with what we've seen, but I see it. Like triple Arsenal attack. I see it as like template aggressive, as opposed to like Gabriel, Saka, and Jesus, which I'd say is like more template conservative. So looking at this, give me a rating out of 5, please.
I'm gonna go. I gave the last one a 3. I feel like that
Yeah.
set the tone, hasn't it? I'm gonna give this a 2.5.
Same. I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5 as well. Just I feel there's two or three picks here which are questionable, and I feel that with Foden, I'm going to just put my biases out here now. That I feel with Phil Foden that I would rather have him in a midfield five than in a four. I just feel that it's too risky without further data at this time of the season. So, and
Mhm.
Community Shield hasn't happened yet, and of course, early game weeks. So, coming on to the next draft now, say, oh, this is quite interesting. A 3-4-3.
Whoa, Jota. Whoa.
Yeah, this is a retro formation here. So, you've got Martinez in goal, Tarkovsky, Stones, Estupinan. You called
Wow.
it Enciso, Jota, Rodrigo, Fernandez, and then you got
Look at that
Haaland,
front line. My word.
Haaland, Kane. For me, this is retro FPL. You don't get this nowadays. And then let's see the bench. Got Heaton, Henry, Baldock, and Anderson. It's like,
I mean,
okay.
whoever this guy is, I really like your style. There are so many names here that I've not even thought about. uh, I, I feel like when it comes to me giving a high rating, it's got to be a perfect balance of covering the template but also going risky.
Yes,
I feel like this is too much.
it is too much. This is
um,
differential heavy. Like
I
this is
mean,
like a differential max, really.
you've probably picked the three most nailed Man City players, I will say,
Yes,
Haaland, Rodrigo, and Stones. Rodrigo, I mean, he does seem to rock up of a goal every now and then, and
he
he is
does.
cheap, but he
Scored in the
does
preseason as well.
he does take up a Man City spot. So I'm just wondering if at any point any of the Man City midfielders get nailed, you're not going to want
No,
Rodrigo. You're
and
going
that
to
and
want.
And sorry,
Sorry.
now that you've said that, he's going to become peak Yaya Toure in this Man City team. But no, like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like, yes, Rodrigo isn't an FPL player. Like, not that he hasn't got potential, but like, you wouldn't pick him as a Man City midfielder, of course not.
Hmm. And Ciso, though, I do like. If he can nail down the minutes, I know there's a lot of attacking players now at Brighton,
Yeah,
so I just don't know. In Ciso, is probably my favourite out of the whole Brighton attackers in terms of a player. But for minutes, it's really a wait and see at the moment. It feels very risky to start off the season with it, but I do love him as a pick. I had him last season. I really do like Enciso as a player.
yeah. I think with him, like, he offers so much potential in terms of like the explosiveness, and they scored that wonder goal. Was it against Man City towards the end of the season as well? I actually had Enciso in some of my early drafts, but then I felt that because they've had some new signings, obviously some comings and goings as well, that like I'm reluctant to keep him in my draft as it is right now. But I feel this just draft is too different for me. And like with my template mindset, I'm very okay. I like the fact he's got the three power strikers there, but like yeah, this is like there's quite too many red flags for me. So give me a
Hmm.
rating out of 5, please, FPL Maker.
Yeah, Kane's a huge differential as well, but
He is.
yeah, I haven't seen him in many teams, but I'm unfortunately going to give this a 2.
I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5 as well. I just feel that like, we'll probably have egg on our face now, and like Rodrigo will bang in the goals, and Ciso will bang in a hat trick on the opening day, but or the opening weekend. But like it's just it's I just I can't justify it too much. I have to be honest. I'm giving my forthright ratings here, as are you. But like this team is not like
Hmm.
good for me. So
I mean,
moving
if you bang on the minutes, sorry, I was going to say, if you bang on the minutes for Enciso and Jota, this team could do incredibly well. I'm just saying,
absolutely,
but you know,
absolutely.
it's a risk.
It is. I just feel that I get it. Some of the like teams will have some ifs and buts, but this team has got too many ifs and buts for
Yeah.
me at this moment in time. So moving on to the next draft now, we've got a 4-5-1 Ramsdale in goal. You can see Botman again. We've got
Hmm.
Gabriel, Stupin, and Shaw for the first time. Midfield heavy again. Foden again. Bruno,
Hmm.
Salah, Saka. Bruno G, double Brunos, and they got Haaland up top with a bench of Areola, Mings, Surridge, and Archer. This looks interesting.
Okay, I think what I'm going to start off with is with Haaland and Salah in the team, when I've been making drafts myself, I feel like this whoever this is has done what you need to do to facilitate having both Haaland and Salah, which is go for a 4-5-1, because saving so much money in that forward, there's not many cheap forwards. Maybe Visser might be the only one I can think of, or Ferguson as a cheap
Yeah,
forward, maybe Morris. But you can facilitate having Haaland and Salah in the team. It's really nice in terms of the seeing someone in the chat there loving Salah in the draft. Um, yeah, the attack is nice. Again, Foden we've discussed. We'll have to wait and see whether he's starting. The double Newcastle. So Bruno Guimaraes is an interesting one. He's not going to
mm,
be a very explosive asset. He'll take over with some points, but I I don't really rate Bruno Guimaraes as an FPL pick
no,
personally. This could be a massive fan of him, so I don't want to
yeah,
dismay it too much from just avoid him. But in terms of FPL points, yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how many he's going to get.
Like just from a like a midfield perspective, with our new Italian maestro, there's potential for Bruno to potentially play more advanced, possibly, or side by side with him ultimately. But I feel that I wouldn't get Bruno or Botman because of those red block fixtures, and then you've got Champions League. Once the fixtures turn for us, we're going to be playing Champions League football, and then that's going to be another element. I like the fact, I'll be honest with you, I like the fact that this draft person's got Bruno Fernandes, Salah, Saka, and Haaland. I like it from a big hitters perspective, and I feel that with a bit of like tweaking, this draft could be even better. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's the worst draft we've seen so far today. There is some potential here, but it kind of like is, yeah, a couple of tweaks away from being more amenable. So give me a rating, please, out of 5 for this 4-5-1.
The defense all right as well, apart from maybe Botman, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this one a 2.5 as well.
I'm going to be a bit more generous on this one, and I'll deviate. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. I'm probably being a bit too generous. I just like the fact that there is like some potential if it just had a few tweaks here and there. And probably, yeah, I'm probably being generous with the 3, but I'll give it oh, yeah, I've said it now, so I can't go back on it. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. So there we go.
I will
So
say my current FPL draft, I've not seen many of the players that are in my current FPL draft. There's about 4 or 5 of them that I currently have in my team that I've not seen at all yet. So that's interesting.
Hey, perhaps your draft might pop up before you know it. So
Oh goodness,
rate your own draft.
very
um,
different. So
yeah. So let's move on to the next one. Here we go. Got Onana in goal. I like it
Chilwell.
already. Chilwell. Gabriel Estupinan. Again, another midfield heavy one.
Jackson. Oh, that's a nice pick.
Wow. Rashford, Martinelli, Foden, Saka, Bruno, Jackson, and Haaland. Jackson's interesting. Areola, Henry. Is that Mubama for
West Ham,
West
yeah.
Ham and Bayer?
That's
This is
a pre-season form pick. That
yeah,
West Ham have 3 strikers to choose from, and 4 actually if you include him. But
yeah.
yeah, he's doing well in pre-season. He might come off the bench every so often, but yeah. I do like this. Wow, yeah, that front 7 is really nice. I do like Martinelli as a bit of a difference to the more popular Jesus at the moment. Fernandes
Yeah.
and Rashford as well. Foden again, we've discussed, might be a bit of a risk. And Jackson, he looked in incredibly good form. And Chelsea, they have a tough opening fixture against Liverpool, but I'm sure you're already aware of this. But the fixtures after that, and after maybe the West
Oh, it's
Ham game,
incredible.
are
Incredible.
really, really good.
Yeah.
So there might be a case to start off with someone like a Jesus to then switch into Jackson.
Yes.
But I do, I'm down for him, being there from the start, because if he gets off to an explosive start, then you're in the money. This is probably my favorite draft so far, honestly. I really, really like this one.
Like just from my perspective, I like the fact that this is a nice hybrid of being template and differential as well. We see Phil
Yeah.
Foden again, and I said I favor Foden in a midfield 5, not in a midfield 4. And I like the fact that this person is almost like this is clearly like not a 1, 2, 3 game week draft. It's someone who's planning for the long haul with Chelsea in mind. So yeah, give me a rating out of 5, please, for this one.
I'm gonna go for do I? Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 4 on this one. I really like this one.
Wow. Wow. I feel that like this offers a lot of variation. I think my best rating so far has been a 3 out of 5. I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5. So I will reserve my 4 stars for potentially one down the line. But yeah, this is probably one of the best ones we've seen so far, and a very like probably one of the best 3-5-2s I've seen. I'm just thinking in terms of like the bench options as well. Is there a potential of having another 4.5 defender? So have Chilwell as a sub 1 in game week 1 potentially that could push it towards a 4. But yeah, it's a good one. So moving on to our next draft, and I believe we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, draft number 6 already. Got Pickford in goal here. Ooh, Webster.
Whoa. I just recoiled a bit there. Wow. Okay. Those are
So
3 defenders I've not seen anywhere. So
no, this is like the anti-template. It's like this person recognizes that these teams have got some good fixtures. But it's like I will not go for the template. Webster as opposed to Stupinan,
Webster. Wow.
Akanji as opposed to Stones, Martinez as opposed to like a Varane or an Onana. And then let's see what it's got them. I mean, to be fair, you can see what they've done. They've saved it like 0.5 on some of them. Saka,
Yeah.
Jota again, Mitoma. That's the first time we've seen Mitoma. I think it's
That's
not.
the first one. Wow.
Wow. And with 6 drafts in, Martinelli, front three of Haaland, Jesus, and Kunku. And let's see the bench. Areola. Oh,
I thought there might be
James.
someone big on the bench.
Wow, look at that. I like it. I like it that this person, well, not the other ones
So
might be questionable. And
I
Torres
know
and Jensen, yeah.
I know
That's
exactly
a
what this
heavy
person's
bench.
done with the bench. They've saved 0.5 million on all the popular ones. So they've gone, okay, Stupiman's 5 million. I'm going for Webster. That's 0.5 million saved. Akanji 0.5 saved on Stones. Martinez 0.5 saved on Shaw to then increase the attack. I just think that's too much.
Yeah,
The reason why you pay 0.5 for those other defenders is maybe minutes, but also the attacking threat on all of
yes,
them. And
yeah,
I think, you can easily facilitate that just by slightly downgrading on one of the attackers.
yes.
And Cuckoo's, again, I do prefer Jackson personally, just from the preseason form, purely because they're both new players. Jackson's going to be playing higher at the pitch.
Higher up
I
you will,
think
yeah.
people might be a bit more worried about Jackson's minutes. I think that might be what the issue is at the moment.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is a Jensen as well. That's a lot of money taken up. Jensen's
yeah.
5.5, I think. So that's a lot of money
Hmm.
taken up on that spot.
Like just by looking at this, right? I credit for this person to like, thinking a bit differently. But like how I see it, we've got playing 4.0 defenders, right? That
Yeah.
that should ultimately help you have a lighter bench without worrying. Okay, I get the James sub 1 pick. I'm not gonna hate on
Hmm.
that too much, right? But like poor Torres can be Bayer and Jensen can be like Nakamba. And then you've got what is that an extra 1.5 million unlocked? Then you can upgrade Webster, Akanji, and Martinez to like the more template picks. But this person clearly doesn't go template here. So
What?
yeah, yeah, sorry.
Am I missing something with Jota? Because this is the second time we've seen Jota. We've seen Salah once.
Unbelievable.
We've not
Yeah.
seen Nunes, Diaz, or Gakpo
No.
at all, but we've seen Jota twice. I don't know.
What's
Is his
going on?
minutes any more secure than anyone else? I don't think it is it?
I don't think they are. The only like in terms of those attacking Liverpool options, you just think Mohamed Salah, X-Mins, safe as houses, right? And like all of the other ones
Yeah.
that you've mentioned, right? There is that X-Mins question mark over all of them, and yet Jota's popping up again. And I've picked this randomly. I've not just gone for like certain people. I've literally randomly
Yeah.
picked certain drafts. So yeah, kudos for the difference here for this draft. But give me a rating out of 5, please.
This is going to be a 2.
I will give this a 2 as well. I feel that like it again, just a few tweaks, and I would really like it, but it's
Yeah.
just too out there for me. But it's yeah, fair play to them. At least they're trying something different. On to the next draft, and this looks quite interesting. So we're going on a 4-4-2.
Oh, is that
Onana in
Son
goal.
finally? No,
No,
Madison.
Madison. It'll be great when they score and assist together. Son, Madison, for Spurs. That will cause a lot of tongue twisting. So, Gabriel, Trent, Rico Henry, Estupinan. Oh, look at that midfield. Rashford, Bruno, Saka, Madison, Mitoma, Haaland. Has to be cheap bench. Please be a cheap bench. Yeah. Oh, that's
Visser,
interesting.
nice.
Areola, enough for Wissa, Archer, and Bayer. Wow.
I like Visser as the first sub. That's nice. I will say go as cheap as possible throughout the bench, but having that first bench option as quite a nice pick. And Visser for game week 1 against Tottenham, I think that's a good choice. Let me
Yes.
have. What was the defense for this one? See
Yeah,
if he
let me
could.
just go back up. And just on Wissa, Wissa was actually in my first draft that I did back in June. So I felt that there was some logic in that pick
Yeah,
potentially.
you've
But look at the
got you've got
defense.
Henry starting. I would just start Visser over Henry
Wissa,
surely because you've got Madison
Wissa.
in the team,
You would
right?
start Wissa. Yeah, against Tottenham. And like again, I don't want to like stereotype this Tottenham team under the new regime, but they're going to be attack heavy, right? There'll be pockets of space opening up in their defense.
Well,
You'd expect,
he's starting Maddison, so he's betting on the Spurs attack scoring anyway.
yeah.
So
I mean, it's not going to be like that Brentford Spurs opening fixture. You'd expect goals in that one, but like, yeah, you would not have. Yeah, you're betting starting Maddison against Henry. That's a weird one. You'd start Wissa surely, in this draft. Um, but yeah, look at that. Very heavy midfield. I'll be honest with you. I don't like Maddison as a pick right now. I just feel
mhm.
that he's a wait and see. Not that he's a bad player. I just want to see how he beds into this Spurs team. Let the fixtures turn a bit. And at 7.5, get Foden in, for goodness sake.
Is
Go
he? He's 7.5, is he?
Foden 7.5 million.
Oh, sorry, Maddison. I mean,
Maddison 7.5 million as well.
well, I'm not going to lie. I do not know what Maddison's price is because I've not even looked at him. I have not even considered him at
Yeah,
the price point. I mean, as differential as possible, maybe Bowen, but like the 6.5. So you've got Mburma, you've got
so many.
Eze. Eze is a really nice pick, I think, at that one. I would like that as well. Oh, FPL routine. I know exactly how you feel, mate. The draft you can make without Salah is so nice, but it's Salah. How can you go against Salah? It's
Yeah.
awful.
It's like for me, I was in the pro Salah camp from the start because I felt that the price reductions could justify it. But then when I looked at the players available and you see like the ridiculous price drops for Bruno and Saka, I say price drops, they're not the right prices that they should be, that you have to then like consider the options beyond Mohamed Salah. And I'm in that camp right now. So give me a rating out of 5 for this one then.
Uh I'm gonna go for. I do like the attack though. I'm gonna give
Attack
it
is nice. Attack is
a
nice.
2.5.
I'm going to be a bit more generous. I'll give this a 3 out of 5.
Mhm.
So let's move on to our next one and just being mindful of the time. In fact, yeah, we'll do a couple more. We'll do a couple more drafts here because I feel that there's a lot of variation. So let me just find a very different one actually, or a very
I,
template one.
I had written down my 3 really nice differentials I was looking for, and I will say none of them have popped up yet. So
None.
I might have to list them off at the end if I don't see them. But
Yeah, do list them off if they don't appear at all in these remaining 2 drafts. So I'm just having a quick look and a quick switch. I just want something different before I share. Oh, this looks interesting. Let's go on this. Okay, this isn't different, but I'm going to go for this one. Ramsdale in goal, Estupinan, Shaw, Trent defense. Look
mhm.
at that midfield. Rashford and Ciso, Saka, Mitoma, Foden, Haaland, Jesus as the front 2. Look at that. Oh, that's an
Ake on the
interesting bench.
bench.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's Rodak, Ake, Baldock, and Wejo on the bench. I was going to say that, like, it's very clear this person is targeting like those first 3 or 4 fixtures, and then it's going to wild card early, just by the look of it.
So yeah, I like this actually quite a bit because this is quite template, but I feel like what they've done is so they've got Enciso there, so they've got
Yeah,
someone who's quite a rotation risk, and then they've got Ake on the bench to come on. Hopefully the idea is that both Enciso and Ake aren't benched, but I do quite like the. It's a little bit risky with the amount of rotation players here, but you've got Haaland, Saka. Was Estepinian in this one?
he
Was
was.
he?
Let me just
Yeah, he
go
was.
back up. So Stupinan, that's a very like rock solid.
Those are the
Like,
four. Those are the four main defenses, I would say. Man
yeah,
United. And even Man City as well. This
yeah.
one. Um,
So you've got Arsenal, Brighton, United. Well, okay. City's missing, but then you've got City on the bench. So, like, I would say in terms of like a back 3, you would go for these options. Like, it just makes perfect from these teams, right? For those opening fixtures, and yeah, credit to this person, managed to get an extra like 500,000 to get like Ake on the bench as well. Um, so yeah, this looks quite nice, very tidy, and it's got the differentials as well. It's got the big hitters, and again, another no. Have we done a Mo Salah draft yet? I think we've done one,
we've
if I'm not
done
mistaken.
one, yeah.
Wow,
Haaland's been every single one.
of course, Haaland. Yep, has to be. um, but yeah, give me a rating here. Out of 5 for this draft.
Oh, I'm struggling between either a 3 or a 3.5. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna go for a 3. I seem to be a bad cop in this one, so I'm gonna go for a 3.
I'm gonna go 3.5. I like the effort that's been put in this draft, and I like the fact that they've got a very interesting sub one option here. Okay, now this last draft that we're gonna move on to, it is a Mohamed Salah draft.
Okay.
It looks okay. I'm just laughing because this looks very scary, but this is not good for my OCD. But
Gonna be a
let's
5 or a
do this.
0 then.
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. It's just so different. I have to share it. So here we go. Got Pickford in goal. We've got
Mhm.
Anderson,
I
Estupinan,
a
Gabriel.
Luton player in the starting lineup does not fill me with confidence.
I know. Well, that's yeah, exactly. You got
Oh, is it
Mohamed
a
Salah.
freemium? Is it a freemium?
Let's have a look. Yes, it is. So
Yes, it
Mohamed Salah,
is.
Enciso, Mitoma, Martinelli, Nakamba, and they've done that to accommodate Mohamed Salah with Kane and Haaland. This will be funny if the bench is a bit random, but oh, you got Matty Cash. Interesting.
Cash, okay.
Virginia, Cash, Bell, Archer. Okay, I can live with that defense. But yeah, this is the final draft of this review episode, and they've gone premium. I think this is probably one of the first premiums I've actually seen on FPL Twitter as well. So very interesting here.
Yeah, the Crystal Palace defender is quite interesting. I think Crystal Palace and Villa defense rotate really nicely, so I reckon that's what they've
Yes.
done there. I do like the rotating 4.5 defenders, but there are a lot of really good 5 million options in defense. Yes, I mean, I do like the fact you've got 3 premiums. The issue I do have is that if you get rid of one of Kane or Salah, you're basically the differences between Kane and Nakamba
Oh
or
God.
like Jesus and Rashford. Like, I know that Kane is probably better than both of those as a pick, but the two that you're getting in return, I just think is far stronger. And you're only going to be captaining one of them every week. So I think it's just
Exactly.
spending too much money on one particular player that you're probably not going to captain.
Exactly that. I feel that I think it was a couple of seasons back when there was this big debate about freemium, whereby some were saying possible to go freemium with um, like Ronaldo, Kane, and Salah. Do you remember that from 2 years back when Ronaldo had just joined the Premier League,
Yes,
rejoined?
Lukaku as well, right?
Lukaku as well, of course. Sorry, I forgot about him. So yeah, they were there, and yeah, sorry, that freemium. It wasn't Kane. It was Lukaku, Salah, and Ronaldo. And I was
Yeah,
on that ship temporarily, but it just doesn't work. Freemium wrecks your team's balance, and it's simply not sustainable. It might be if you're, let's say, going to wildcard the week after, and you can accommodate it in that way, but it just simply is not a long-term solution here. And I see here that this this team is missing a Manchester United defensive asset. It's
yeah.
missing a Man City asset, but yeah, I'm not really too bothered about that right
I
now.
think it's missing any Man United, right? I don't think it's got any
Yeah,
Man United players.
no Man United assets at all in this one. And then, yeah, Anderson, bit different there. I just feel that like Enciso, we've seen Enciso in so many of these drafts. And
I do love Enciso, but yeah, just a
yeah,
minute's risk, right?
he is a minute's risk. And like, if I had a solid front seven, right, I could perhaps justify him as the final piece of that jigsaw. But when you've got Nakamba as your like in that front seven, it's just too risky for me. And then
Hmm.
just coming onto this bench lastly as well. Okay, Cash, I see the logic. Bell, see the logic. Archer, I see the logic. But like literally, all this person has to do is downsize Kane, spread the funds, and upgrade the rest of the team. You get two better defenders. You get a moderate sized. Okay, get Jesus. Let's just say they went from Kane to Jesus, right? That in itself, what is unlocking 4.5 million, and
Hmm.
then you can spread
You can
those
do
funds elsewhere.
Enciso, you could do Enciso to Rashford, and then you could even upgrade it. Yeah, in fact, no, you could do Nakamba straight up to Rashford, just like that.
Exactly. So like, yeah, I just wanted to show this draft in particular because it's got Mohamed Salah and it's a premium. And it's just more of a learning exercise as well, that you just need to be careful with when it comes to freemium. That on the plus side, yes, prices aren't as high as they have been this year and last year for certain players, but that's the beauty of it, that you can get more of these premium players without the premium price tags. Who am I talking about? Your Sakas, your Rashfords, your Odegaards, your Martinellis, Fernandez, etc. And it makes far more sense to get them in because of the value that they offer, the points per million potential, and other reasons as to why they make more sense. I mean, let's look at De Bruyne, right? I think De Bruyne had less goal involvement, or it's almost the same as Bruno Fernandes last year, and yet they've got a 2 million price difference. You know, it's just crazy. Not sure how that works. Saka has actually had far more than De Bruyne. I can say that far more than De Bruyne. 2 million price difference there. So yeah, let's rate this one out of 5.
The intro, yeah, like you said, it only needs a small tweak and it's really good. But I'm gonna be harsh just based on how the team is at the moment, and with so many really good assets missing, and with Nakamba in the starting lineup, I'm gonna give this one a 1.5.
That's the rating I had in mind as well. A 1.5 out of 5 for me. I feel that this is not a sustainable draft, and before you know it, there'll be wild carding in game week 2. So that's the mindset there. No doubt. Like, look, if Kane, Salah,
They'll be taking a
are,
hit, that's for sure.
yeah, they're going to have to readjust because of the other players that are available. So I think like there we have it. That's our like round, like the drafts that we've done for this stream. I wanted to ask you, who were your differentials that you had on your notepad that you're hoping would pop up?
Yeah, so one of them was Eze. I'm surprised I didn't see Eze in a single one. I
Yeah.
just really think he's a good player in really good form for the preseason. I like the opening fixture.
Mm.
He works quite well. I've seen quite a bit. If you partnership him with a Aston Villa player, or you partner him up with a Nottingham Forest player, those two rotations are really good in terms of getting the fixtures. So I like Eze, and that leads me on to my second player who I'm rotating with Eze, which sounds quite insane in terms of the pricing.
Wow.
But Watkins,
Oh wow.
rotating with Eze, which seems pretty insane in terms of the pricing. But again, you can afford all these players given
You can.
how cheap the likes of Fernandez and Saka and all these players are. Watkins, I'm just surprised I've not seen him many drafts. He's really consistent. I think, did I see somewhere that he's only the third player or something? No, he's one of the only players who scored consistently 15 goals in the last 3 seasons, something like that.
Let's have a quick look there.
Just
Yeah, Ollie
consistently.
Watkins. Yeah, I know the first season when he joined the Premier League, he was hitting the post a fair bit. But I'm just having a quick look at his goals. So Ollie
Yeah,
Watkins, since joining Brentford, promoted with 25 goals in 46, then went to Villa, 14 in 37, 11 in 35, 15 in 37. So he's
just
near
consistently
about,
good.
yeah, he's like for a player of that club and that stature, he's scoring a healthy number of goals without a shadow of a doubt. 40 goals in 109 games for Aston Villa. I think that's a relatively healthy return.
And the fixtures, I think, are pretty great for the start of the season. I know they've got Newcastle away and then Liverpool away, but Watkins has scored in the big games. I'm pretty sure. I remember that brace he got against Newcastle.
He did. We lost 3
Um,
0 I think, in that match.
yeah, he can really return in the big games, and I think Villa are going to do really well this year. I'm just
Oh,
surprised I've
yeah.
not seen much Villa in people's drafts. Maybe the odd Pau Torres or Cash in
That's
defense,
it.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised about the lack of them. And then the third one, just because I'm a Liverpool fanboy, Darwin Núñez. I just think, again, mega high risk when you go for
Yeah.
Núñez. He's looked incredibly good in pre-season. I wanted to steer clear of him, but I feel like I've been completely drawn into the narrative of he's been given the number 9 shirt. He's starting up front. Gakpo has been lining up in midfield. I just think Núñez is going to become that starting striker week in, week out. I could be completely wrong about that because, of course, Jota can line up in the number 9 role. But yeah, I just really like Núñez as a pick. And if you've got a good first bench option, I think it's okay to have him, and then he can come off if he doesn't start. But yeah, I do like Nunes to cover the Liverpool attack if you can't afford Salah, basically.
Yeah, like yeah, if you said to me like if you can't get Mohamed Salah, who like Nunes would be probably an option more so than like Jota or Gakpo potentially. But I don't know what that Liverpool attack situation is going to be like until that we see the games play out during the early part of the season. But like you mentioned Watkins, right? And I've not seen any team with this. But if you're going to go for three strikers, Watkins, Jesus, and Haaland, I think is the way to go. I feel that if like there aren't many people who are going for three strikers, and rightly so, when you've got those midfielders that offer exceptional value. But Watkins is on my watch list due to those good run of games. European football won't start until what, September? So no doubt he can hit the ground running. And Unai Emery has done wonders at Aston Villa. Look at what he inherited from Steven Gerrard. He's just like, I think the record. I don't want to like say it wrong, but like if you look at Unai Emery's record in the Premier League since he joined, it's like top 4 quality record.
Yeah,
Since
they were just above the relegation zone when he joined,
yeah,
and then he got them to European football. Like he basically did what
incredible.
Eddie Howe did
Yeah, for
with
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Exactly that. And looking at his record, that's 15 wins in 27 matches. That is like absolutely incredible. That, and I'm just trying to convert that in my head as to 15 and 27 over the course of the season. That tallies up to what, 21 wins. Like if we averaged it out, which is like that's like pretty much Champions League football almost for some seasons. So I I feel that like you see it a lot actually, where a manager has come in the second half of the previous season and then carries on that fantastic run. I do not want to give the example of like Leicester from 14, 15, 15, 16 because I had the managerial change as well. But like sometimes teams carry that momentum into the next season. And if there's any team that's screaming for that momentum to continue and having a good run of games, it is Aston Villa. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. I've got no doubt people will double or triple up with Villa before you know it. So yeah, I'd mention that Nunes too much of a risk for me. It just feels that he could score a brace, he could get a red card, or he could get like a 1 point cameo, like with the flick of a wrist, right? So he could do anything. But he's different, right? So I can't fully complain about that one. And yeah, I think that's it. For those who are, whether you're listening live or on playback, be sure to follow FPL Meerkat on YouTube and also on Twitter. Anything else you'd like to mention, Mr. Meerkat?
No, I think that's all good. I'm afraid it's a shame I didn't see any 5 out of 5 drafts for this one, but maybe there are 5 out of 5 drafts. I just been a bit harsh in my ranking.
Yeah,
But yeah, I will say that don't let this discourage you from picking players that are completely different and completely out there.
yeah,
There's no one's a set. I was making drafts at the start without Haaland. I was making Kane and Salah drafts. I have now had my head turned. I do think I want to go with Haaland now. But yeah, don't be afraid to go a bit against the grain, but do keep in mind which assets will have a big impact on your rank and can you easily get them back in, because you don't want to start off really far behind. But yeah, thank
absolutely
you very
not.
much for having me.
No, you're welcome. And just you made a really good point there that ultimately everyone plays FPL in different ways. There's no right or wrong way. You can play it however you want. But I am in that camp whereby I am template centric from the get go due to the reasons that you've mentioned, and also it's just logical in that way, so that you don't have to play catch up from the start. So that's the biases that we have when we were rating those drafts as well. So apart from that, be sure to check out the rest of my preseason content on the playlist that's on my YouTube channel, and we've got some more exciting content coming up between now and Game Week 1. Take care and all the best, everyone. Thank you. Bye.